Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.
Everybody, welcome into Going Public. I am Harry McCullough. This week we'll be talking about the Lafourche Parish Council with Council Chair Oman Otan, District 7, and Councilman Terry Pierce with Bayou Blue area, District 5. So guys, thanks so much for being with us. Let's talk a little bit about Lafourche Parish, and overall we'll get to your district specifically, but I guess this is the first time we've seen you since the snow event, right? So
that's right.
Tell me about how did we make out in the snow event?
Yeah, so thank you, and thanks to HCV10 for allowing Lafourche Parish to come over and you know, every couple of months and talk about what we have going on. So yeah, welcome to 2025.
Right.
Lafourche Parish Council chairman. I was reelected, thankfully, and I'm very appreciative of them and trusting me to be chair again. And we have a new vice chairman being Councilman Mark Pert. But yeah, so snow event. So I mean, my biggest takeaway from the snow event, especially being involved not only on the politician side, but also as a fire chief, I am so appreciative of the community adhering to the curfews and staying off the roads. It was unbelievable. It was truly remarkable to watch Highway 308 pretty much inactive for about 2 days. And that really helped us tremendously in making it through the event with minimal disruptions. I mean, obviously, you know, we all had some water disruptions. We all had, some people even had electrical issues. And I can remember telling my wife that, can you imagine if somebody crashes a vehicle, slides and hits a pole and knocks the power? Yeah, we want our water, but boy, to not have power and electricity, especially for seniors and people that are kind of incapacitated and can't get out, not being able to have that heat would have been brutal. So I just can't thank the community enough for adhering to the curfews. I know it's tough, it's challenging, but what an outstanding job that was done in staying off the roads.
Yeah, I think you're right. We didn't see many people. I think people are more scared of a little snow than they are a hurricane, right?
That's right. Thank God. That's right.
But I think we're more used to hurricanes, right?
Yeah, and our call volume was really related to pulling, say, like Acadian Ambulance, who still needed to respond to calls and not having four-wheel drives. I mean, just not being as equipped for snow. So that was the bulk of the calls. It were really we fared well.
Yeah.
So that worked out real good. But one of the biggest topics going on that I want to cover right now and blast out to the community is, I did talk to our administrator Mitchell Ogeron earlier today to kind of get an update. But the Lafourche Parish Government Office in Matthews has a tremendous amount of cement work going on, and everybody's like, "What are they doing?" There was nothing wrong with that parking lot. It was just an old Walmart parking lot. Right. Walmart bought and built a new place, and that's where we ended up at. But the state gave us a $400,000 grant, and it's for beautification and drainage of the parking lot. And really, it's kind of to instill green areas. So there's going to be benches that you can sit at, and it's a pretty big project. And really, the good part about it is it's also going to impede traffic somewhat. A lot of people like to cut through the parking lot to go to Walmart and kind of get around the red lights, and they speed there. So it's going to kind of slow things down, make it a little bit safer. But that's what that's all about. And the parish president had to go out and let the community know that our recycle bin was going to have to be moved temporarily while this work was going on. But we just want the community to know that this was a state grant. It's really not our local money, and it's towards beautification and making that parking lot really nice with some green areas and benches, et cetera. So that's what's going on in terms of the
that's in Matthews.
Right, in terms of the community center right there. I mean, in terms of the government building. The reason I say community center is because I have an update also. I've mentioned it several times, but the Lafourche Parish Community Center located in Lockport Heights, kind of in the central Lafourche Port area. We have this huge gymnasium that really functioned well after Hurricane Ida. Some of the southern sporting teams, in public schools, et cetera, were able to utilize it because it withstood the hurricane pretty good. But now the second phase of this was to add parks, a couple of ballparks, some soccer fields. And unfortunately, due to a funding shortfall, it got delayed by several months. But it kicked off in late December. They started moving dirt and kind of doing the drainage and stuff. And so some of the important dates that we were just given is that they're hoping to have most of the dirt work done here by the first week of March. That's all the chopping and balancing, site drainage. Sidewalks, they're hoping by the third week of March to be done. First week of April, the fencing, backstops, clay infields, the bases and bleachers are going to be installed. And by the middle of April, the final dressing should happen. So it's been a long time coming. We've been pushing, I don't say me because it's taken hundreds of us.
Sure.
But it's probably over about 30 years to get to this point. So it's an amazing, hundreds of miracles, just narrowly.
So they'll be playing this year in April.
So I don't know that will be the case because from also being involved with it for so long, the fields oftentimes need time to.
Sure.
It's kind of like a person that's getting over an injury. Like they need a little bit of time. So I don't know. I'm hopeful of that, but it may be another year before there's actually ball going on.
Who gets to play there?
So it'll be a public facility. And so the thought process is we've been leasing from the Holy Savior Church. We've been leasing the ball fields that have been there for as long as I've been alive. And it's very constricted. It's very small. So this is a much larger facility. It'll have a couple of ball fields, and we'll also have the gym to be able to retreat into for different events and stuff. So it's kind of going to all go together. And this was a CDBG grant that started all of this. In the Charlotte administration, and so
you said they've
really
been doing this for 30 years?
We've been working on this. There have been groups that have been trying to get property and funding for well over 30 years now. Well over 30 years. So when people say they want some, it's like, well, let me tell you my story. It's to find the funding, the property, to have everybody on board, to not be a speed bump. From my perspective, I've been actively involved in this for that long, but I had to not be a speed bump several times where I disagreed. But if you have multiple people disagreeing, you never move forward. So certainly it's a big challenge. But other projects going on, Hurricane Ida, we have the old courthouse annex and old jail roof that's going on. Cajun Bayou Visitor Center is coming along great. They're doing some of the displays, I think, has caused a little bit of a delay. The Galliano Government Complex, the interior rebuild. So a lot of Ida repairs are going on as well in our parish, because right now we have our clerk of court, Annette Fontana, is displaced. She's staying at the DA's office. We have a court. You may not even know this yet, but there's actually going to be a trial in the government chambers in Matthews. So we're trying to find ways to get around some of these rebuilds and the Ida work, if you will.
That Ida, boy, it's taking it out of us, that's for sure. All right, we'll take a break. When we come back, more We Go in Public right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Terrebonne General Health System. Your health is our legacy. Rouse's, you're either local or you're not. Buick, the craft of modern luxury. St. Martin and Bork, know your rights.
Hey, welcome back to Going Public. Harry McCullough here. We're speaking Lafourche Parish Council with Council Chair Armand Otan and Terry Pierce, District 5, District 7, District 5. So Terry, let's talk a little bit about District 5, Bayou Blue. You guys had a little water issue during the storm?
Yeah, we did.
Right?
Like everybody else, we had water pressure issues and stuff. And I think one of the things that hurt Lafourche Parish as a whole, talking to Wayne Gautreaux at our last meeting, was a social media post that said the parish was going to turn the water off at 10 o'clock and not turn the water back on till the next morning at 6. Well, that just, that depleted the system.
Sure.
And
everybody's filling up their
when you're talking about these guys are pumping, I think Wayne said 3.2 million gallons of water a day, and you lose that, each one of these water towers throughout the parish was emptied. I think all the tanks in Lockport were emptied. And, people have to understand it takes time to redo all of this. And, when you're talking about the Bayou Blue area, part of Bayou Blue gets their water from Thibodeau. Part of Bayou Blue gets their water from Lockport, Raceland area. And now they did learn, speaking to Wayne, they learned some lessons on this once in a lifetime thing, probably, for me anyway. It ain't gonna happen in my lifetime, at least I hope not. But they learned from it, and they Lower Bayou Blues had an issue for quite some time with water pressure issues. They learn from this. They know what they got to do. Outside of spending $4 million on a new pipeline, they're going to try to put a lift station in the upper Bayou Blue area close to try to help. And that's that's a little ways down the line maybe, but they know what they need to do.
Right. Use the gravity to push that down.
We all had issues, but it's something that. We in South Louisiana, we got to learn to live with things like that.
Right.
This wasn't something that happens every week to us,
Right.
So, but we made it through.
Sure.
We made it through.
We got cool. Yeah. Speaking of water issues, those kind of things, your fire department, right? It was having the first volunteer annual fair.
Harvey and I have been talking back and forth quite often here lately. About getting their permit for alcohol, and there was a school right next door, so we got that taken care of as far as being able to have it.
Just for stop
permit wise, paperwork wise,
weekend, right?
Yeah, we got all of that taken care of, and it's going to be their first annual fair, and it's going to be to supplement some things that the state's going to be taking away from the local fire departments. Mm-hmm. So they're looking for people to go out, help support. They're going to have things for kids to do. They're going to have alcohol. They're going to have beer there for the grown-ups and stuff. And people text me, are they going to have beer there? Yes, they're going to have beer there. It's going to be April 11th, 12th, and 13th.
Yeah.
And,
okay, so that's coming up.
Yeah.
You guys are making...
So it's coming up. I'm sure they in their final landing stages on getting everything done for that, because it's a big project.
Lafourche Parish has a long and proud history of volunteer fire department, as you guys know.
Do.
And Thibodeau.
I was one for 10 years myself.
Yeah,
so.
Absolutely. So I know both of you guys are involved with that. Hey, let's talk about, I know something you wanted to talk about was road construction, and that Highway 316 is not clearing up anytime. It's going to be better, but it's going to be a slow going process, right?
Yeah, it's going to be a process, Harry. The project goes out for bid April 9th. Hopefully within 4 months from that bid date, construction will start. So from 182 all the way to Highway 24, for the next, whenever they start that project, for about 8 months to a year, there's going to be construction all along that area, and we need to learn alternative routes or leave earlier for work or whatever, because things are going to be happening. But we don't get improvement without some inconveniences,
And they're overlaying? They're doing overlaying?
They're doing a complete milling and overlaying of the whole project. And then the other project that I've been staying pretty tight on is I've been in contact with Jacob with the state, is the pontoon bridge down Lower Bayou Blue. Lafourche Parish, like Terrebonne, we have some aging bridges, and when we have issues, it's just parts and motors and stuff. These things are old, takes time. But the pontoon bridge, if everything goes according to what they hoping that happens, by the end of March, it should be repaired and be ready for vehicular traffic again. What happened, they were actually working on the bridge, doing some repairs, and it got hit again. So
kind of common.
Got to rebid it,
Right.
because there's so much money, it can't just say, hey, go ahead and fix what you're doing and fix the other stuff to it. It don't work that way.
Yeah.
And also 316 on the lower part from Prospect to Lake Long is on the list, hopefully in the first quarter of this year, to be restriped. I know a lot of people talk to me about
big.
that.
Yeah, it's big.
So that's going to happen also.
Yeah.
So we got some things happening. And the parish is constantly down there. I get reports every day. They're steadily, these guys are out there every day cleaning ditches, blowing out culverts. So these guys are working.
Yeah, absolutely. And look, all of those things are so important this time of year.
And you know, we're not waiting for the hurricane season. They're doing it now, you know.
Yeah,
so I'm proud of that. I'm proud of that.
Absolutely. All right, we'll take one more break. We'll be right back. We're going public right after this.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by South Louisiana Bank. It's better when we bank together. Waits and Downer, attorneys at law. Terrebonne Ford, built Ford tough.
Hey, welcome back to Going Public. Harry McCullough here. We're talking Lafourche Parish Council with the council chair, Oman Otan, and Terry Pierce, Districts 5 and 7. So let's talk a little bit more about District 5 and what kind of projects you guys got going on.
Yeah, so on my side, I did want to mention that we're just getting back from the Police Jury Association of Louisiana Convention in Baton Rouge, which myself, Councilman Araby, our parish president, Orchie, our administrator, Mitch, as well as Terrebonne. Jason was there, as well as I think it's called the Chief Administrative Officer or something from Terrebonne. Anyway, it's a wonderful opportunity to network, and you get to meet with the executive staff of the state. So, for instance, I know the Terrebonne administrator was engaging the Secretary of Wildlife and Fisheries, asking her about derelict vessels and assistance, in the bias of and so we have a lot of shared commonality in terms of we had the same thing. We had a derelict vessel. We spent $250,000. So it's wonderful to be able to sit in with some of these department executives, if you will, like Mike Strain, the Commissioner of Ag, and anyway, so that was a wonderful event. But while I was there, we got to engage Entergy, Louisiana. So a lot of people have been inquiring what's going on throughout the Lafourche Parish in terms of all the new poles going up. And so Entergy has a multi-billion-dollar project, spending about $300 to $400 million in Lafourche Parish alone. And they're going to a more resilient infrastructure. They're following the lead of Florida and going back with steel posts. Right. So they're replacing all the wooden posts with steel posts. And so that's going on throughout the area. It shouldn't take them much more than a few months to have this project completely done. After Hurricane Ida, they quickly came in. They put some heavy-duty timber poles. They went back with something called non-shielded wire. It caused a lot of problems with shortens and stuff like that. So anyway, that's a wonderful program that's going on, and that's what's happening there. So from my district, I would like to announce, I got a bunch of things going on. First one is I want to shout out to State Representative Brian Fondo and thank him. He's trying to arrange for a breakfast mass with the fire chiefs sometime in March. So I want to give him a shout out and thank him for that. Upcoming events, the Lockport Mardi Gras Parade is going to happen on March 1st at noon in the town of Lockport. A wonderful, small, safe event. We have the Beaten Up Barataria Terrebonne National Estuary Program's annual bayou cleanup is going to happen on April 5th, 2025. Of course, that's to clean up, we
could do that every weekend.
That's right. Our life, right, 300,000 residents from Terrebonne, Lafourche, Assumption parishes get their drinking water off that bayou. So it's important to keep it clean.
You said one of the Nichols?
Beaten Up. That's right. So if anyone's interested in getting more information on that, they can go to Beaten Up's website. We're having the Lafourche Parish Household Hazardous Waste Day on April 12th. That's going to be right there at the government complex. It's an amnesty program where residents could come in and bring anything that they have, household goods, electronics, et cetera, old batteries, and there's no charge for that. Now, there's no commercial people that's allowed, obviously, in that. Now, we have a festival just like Bar Blue, in which I've been working close with them, helping them out to get this going. But we have La Fête du Mont, which is April 25th, 26th, 27th at the Pavilion. We'll probably be back here to engage and make the community aware. Holy Savior Catholic Church is inviting the community to an outdoor mass this Sunday at 10 a.m. It's in recognition of their 175th anniversary. Wow. So there may be rain. If there is, they're going to try to move it indoors, et cetera.
170.
That's right. While I'm talking about all this volunteer and all these things like that, I want to give a shout out to Mr. Danny Maye, who's been a lifelong volunteer, not only in our parish, Lafourche Parish, but really as a state. He's held a lot of different advice. He was inducted into the Louisiana Association of Fairs and Festivals Hall of Fame in Baton Rouge on February 8th. So congratulations to him. Great job doing that. And one of the last things I want to bring up is we have the Bayou Lafourche Folklife and Heritage Museum in Lafourche Parish. It's located in the town of Lockport at 110 Main Street. It's open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. And many people have never been there. And it's really interesting because there are exhibits there. Takes you through a bayou tour through the year like 1910. It has the old Valentine paper mill. It has an exhibit there. It has some Mardi Gras exhibits. So there's even a Holy Savior Church school section. So it's a wonderful exhibit, and I would definitely encourage not only visitors but our local community to go out and visit it. And once again, that's at 110 Main Street in the town of Lockport. They're open from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Real neat, interesting. It's all volunteers.
They build boats and stuff there?
So across the street used to be the boat building. Hurricane Ida damaged that building beyond repair for government. And so they've since, I think, relocated to Thibodeau.
Right.
But they were right across the street, which was, and I used to take visitors actually from around the country to that boating. So it was a really neat display. So that's some of the things that's going on in our area. And
it's so cool. I had to do the math. 175. It's 1850 is when that started. So that's before we were a state, right? Well, no, we were a state.
Yeah, we were a state.
But yeah, so 150 years is amazing. So
175th anniversary.
That's so cool.
That's right.
And this time of year, now we'll start the festivals, the outdoor, that kind of stuff. Won't be long. We'll have Fireman's Fair is always in May, those kind of things. So, a lot going on.
Yeah, so if I may point out, so as we're going into the spring, as a public safety officer, I want to remind people, change your batteries and your fire alarm, your carbon monoxide alarms. They save lives. 100% they save lives. Additionally, as people start to get out on the water, please wear your personal flotation devices, those life jackets. We had a fatality just 2 weeks ago in Bayou Lafourche, so we certainly encourage everyone to please wear your life jackets, be safe on the water, but certainly enjoy our waters.
Yeah, no doubt. It's almost that time of year. Well, Houma and Terry, thank you guys for joining us.
Thank you.
That's Going Public. I'm Harry McCullough. We'll see you next time.
Thanks again.
Today's social media segment is brought to you by Alford and Associates for all of your insurance needs. CIS, Cardiovascular Institute of the South, the highest quality cardiovascular care available. Barker Honda, the Barker family tradition of quality.